Welcome, everyone. We are the Uneducated Gamers Podcast, and today we are going to discuss the Game Awards. The Game Awards are coming up. The list is out. We need to vote, and we are going to provide some of our most uneducated thoughts. But first, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Good, and you?
Good. I can't say good and you, Joe. How are you doing? And Joe's not here.
I'm Joe. I'm doing just fine.
Wait, that sounded like, was that Daffy Duck?
I'm the mascot of an evil corporation. Oh!
Oh, Joe will be back with us soon. But until then, we are going to have some fun talking about and running through some of the top categories of the Video Game Awards that are coming. I think it's December 6th, I believe. And it's very interesting because, the Game Awards has replaced kind of E3 in a way. And
E3's done, isn't it?
Well, it's coming back. Remember, it's being revamped. They they have been talking about the revamped E3. But the Game Awards has kind of really not only provided a way to rate games, but talk about new releases and such, which is pretty cool. But we're going to kind of run through the paces with some of the categories. We're not going to go through all of them, right? But we'll kind of dissect the different categories, look at the games, provide our opinions, and really let's just let's throw some predictions out there on what we think is going to be, game of the year or some of these other different categories. What do you think, Mike?
I think it sounds like a good time.
All right. So we're going to start at the bottom and work our way all the way up to the game of the year, because that's the big honcho, which is going to be the best game of the year based on critics.
I think there's gonna be an anticlimactic end to that one. I think we all know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, probably. Although I do enjoy speculation of upsets, but I don't the thing that about these award shows, and before we start, that kind of bother me is, even though we can go out there and vote on the Game Awards, like, the weight of the fan vote is like so minuscule, so little.
It's just like voting in real life.
Sure. Okay. Yes.
Game Awards gerrymandering.
Just less of the Trump. But I mean, at least they tell you that, it's a small portion of the, population of the voting. I'm still waiting for a award show that really does a 50-50 split. Like, meaning critics vote has 50% of the vote, and the fans voting have 50% of the vote.
I just want to see a Game Awards show where Chris Rock gets his ass beat on stage.
Well, maybe we'll have another slap event at the Game Awards show.
We get the video game adaptation of Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted.
Oh, man. So we'll start out with, actually, this is kind of a somewhat of a distant segue, because that episode's over. But we were talking about video game TV shows previously in our last episode that launched last week, right?
Yep.
And so they actually created a category for this. I think this is new for this year. I'm not sure, but I never seen this category before, but I could be wrong. But it's best adaptation and recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. And the nominees are Arcane League of Legends. By the way, I actually didn't know this was a thing until I saw this and I looked it up. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was a movie, and then the aforementioned Uncharted that we talked about previously in another episode. And yeah, those are our 5 nominees for best adaptation. So, Mike, what do you think?
Well, I think the 2 that are most likely to get it, I think it's between Arcane League of Legends and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I don't really know anything at all about the Cuphead show. I vaguely remember people talking about it in production, but I don't know what happened to it after it launched. I don't have any particular feelings about the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. I think they're fine. They're fun. They're dumb. They never pretended to be anything other than that, and they accomplished it. But I wouldn't say that they're like a great adaptation of anything.
So, what's your pick?
I would have to say Cyberpunk Edge Runners is probably the one that's going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think so looking at this list on my side of it, so I haven't, like I said, I never watched Arcane League of Legends. And until I looked it up, I was like, okay, it's okay.
The only thing I really know about Arcane League of Legends is that all the Magic community was like, this was the show that Wizards should have made about Magic IP. Why didn't Wizards capitalize on this?
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe I should go check it out. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, fantastic. In fact, Edge Runners actually, if anyone has seen the Weird Al biopic,
yes.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners gave the Weird Al bump in sales when it came out. People started playing Cyberpunk again. The Cuphead show, it's okay. I mean, I think I love the game. I love the premise of what they did with the show. I just don't know if it outpaces Cyberpunk and League of Legends, to be honest with you.
I don't know what show there is to be made out of Cuphead. It's a very cool, stylized action game, but that's kind of all it is, right? Like, there's not a whole lot of...
Well, it's a cartoon that sort of fits in the mold of like the old 50s style silent movies.
Sure.
And I mean, again, it's interesting, but I just don't think it's interesting enough.
Does it beat Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No.
If it doesn't beat Who Framed Roger Rabbit, then who cares?
No. But you know what I think could beat? No, it can't beat actually. But I do think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is actually really good. I think it could be a contender for winning this category, to be honest with you. It's interesting for me being a Sonic fan for many, many years. Like I played the first Sonic, I had Genesis and I played the first one, right? And then experiencing the resurgence in my house with my kids with Sonic, because they have now experienced Sonic and they like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And going to see both movies. We actually saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in the new Dolby theater that kind of the seats bring you into the action and stuff.
Oh.
And it was pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was a pretty darn cool. It was better than the first one in my opinion.
Okay.
And it built upon kind of the backstory that they created in the first one. And it included Tails this time around.
And Knuckles.
Yeah. And I was thoroughly impressed with Sonic the Hedgehog 2. What I was not impressed with, and I wanted to vomit all over it, and that was Uncharted.
Oh, you and I went two very different places. I thought you were gonna go the place I was gonna go, where this is gonna make me a lot of enemies. I don't like Jim Carrey.
Oh,
I don't
I hear
like
you.
his performance in any sort of comedy he's in. I don't like him. Uh, Other than maybe Bruce Almighty, but that was less of a comedy. He's a good serious actor, with some slight amount of comedy, but Truman Show is good. Bruce Almighty was good. Ace Ventura is god awful.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this movie, he's a very different character in that way. So he is obviously the antagonist, right?
Right.
But
It's obviously meant to be a little goofy. Eggman is a goofy villain.
yeah, and the character is meant to be goofy, and I actually think he does it really well. Like I feel like if anybody was to play him, it had to be Jim Carrey.
Yeah, he does fine enough in this role. I still cringe every time I see him come out on screen. Like, are you just gonna be Dumb and Dumber? Are you gonna be the Mask? Like, and he doesn't. He really doesn't take the role that ridiculously in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
But I don't like Jim Carrey.
I hear you. I don't like when they like to stuff Mark Wahlberg into video game movies.
Mark
Like,
Wahlberg is not good either.
again, Uncharted was the worst. But I actually think um um what was Max Payne was even worse
That
than
I've never
Uncharted.
seen.
That you have to, right? Like you have to, you just have to experience the garbage that it is.
Like I did with the Rock's Doom
Oh
recently.
yeah. Did you check it out after we discussed the
Yeah,
Doom?
I was always vaguely aware of its existence, and I knew it was terrible, but I picked it up and I expected it to be ha ha funny
Yeah.
bad. It was not. It was the worst movie I've seen in a long time.
So
I barely got through it. I didn't. I watched like 20 minutes of it while I was making dinner, and then fast forwarded to the first action scene in a Doom game, like an hour and a half in, and then hated everything I was seeing and kind of scooted to the end.
so what you're saying is it would not be in your best adaptation category.
No, it would not.
This is the worst. Yeah, so in my opinion, I'm gonna go with you as well. I think Cyberpunk Edge Runners will win this one. I think it's a slam dunk. And primarily because of the critical acclaim that it got, and I think for also the perspective that it definitely gave a bump to the game itself after it came out. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to our first category about actual games, right? Not video game adaptations, but best debut indie. And again, this category doesn't need an introduction, but it's for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. So, we've had quite a few of them this past year, right? Meaning new independent studios. It's been a banner year for independent titles. So the nominees for the best debut indie, and it's actually a quite interesting mix. But I think there's definitely a clear winner for this one. But basically the nominees are Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors. Vampire Survivors was interesting because I thought that was a terrible game. But
Vampire Survivors.
yeah. it was it was just bad.
I'm gonna be honest. The only one I only know three out of the five of these. I know
Okay.
Tunic, I know Stray, and I know Neon White. Um, I don't know anything about Norco or Vampire Survivors, so I don't really have a comment on Vampire Survivors.
Okay. So Vampire Survivors,
I'm looking it up right now.
think old school Zelda.
Okay.
Um and like this game gets high ratings. Now don't get me wrong, right? Like people there are people who fanatically love this game, especially in like in the Steam community. It gets a lot of great ratings. But it just I don't know, like it's one of those games that I just didn't really consider this type of genre to be conducive to like a vampire like zombie like type game.
Is this one of those I've seen a couple of games like this more recently where it's a shooter game, a little bit RPG, but it's also a little bit idle.
So it's
Like Brotato is the other one that comes to mind.
yeah, so okay, so basically they classify this thing as a like a roguelike shoot 'em game. So it's like roguelike. And I don't know, it's basically um it's basically like a
Roguelike shoot 'em. That just sounds like every 80s arcade game with a joystick.
yeah, but it has like auto
Centipede comes to mind.
yep, but think of okay. Yeah, so think of Centipede but auto shooting.
Yeah. I'm not I, I totally understand the draw of idle games, especially with someone who has very little time for video games anymore.
Yeah.
Um and giving it like a little bit of like the roguelike where you can like level up your character and like get access to different weapons and power-ups. There's some interest to be had there. But you're right, I wouldn't call it game of the year material or anything like that. It's just like a lot of accolades to give what is effectively cookie clicker.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just one of those. It was just not a game that I guess I was not interested in or felt like was all that interesting enough to be considered. Now again, like I said, the community thinks this game is fantastic, right? The Steam community there's a lot of positive reviews on it. It's a very positive game.
You know, in all fairness, there's probably a lot of fun to be had. And just because a game isn't like the deepest, most rich gameplay experience you've ever seen, doesn't discount from the fact that it might just be simple fun.
Yeah.
I mean, how you look back at what are some like best games of all time from like way like the 80s. You got like Pac-Man, you got Centipede, you got Dig Dug. Like these are not exciting games.
Yeah.
But they're hallmarks of the medium.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a type of genre, a type of this genre that I just don't enjoy. And that's the reason why I don't feel very positive about it, I guess. I'm not sure. Tunic, however, this is one that's on my wish list. I really do want to play this game.
Tunic is on my wish list. That one looks really cool.
Yeah. It reminds me of like taking what is that game on the Switch? Not far. What is that one that people was New Horizon? What is the name of that? People went crazy for it during the pandemic because it was like
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing. Yeah, so Animal Crossing meets Legend of Zelda.
I would not put Animal Crossing and Tunic together at all in my head.
No?
No, it's not Animal Crossing is like a casual city builder. Like, look, I built a little house and I have this fun chair that's a pretty color and I sold some turnips to the raccoon down the street. Tunic is like it's 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 a Souls like, really, is what it is. Uh, it's an exploration, a little bit puzzle based with like I think there might be, I don't know what the death mechanic is, but it's like a casual Souls like, more in the vein of Breath of the Wild. I would say like Breath of the Wild meets Dark Souls.
Really? Like
Yeah.
that deep? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just read it wrong.
The what's his name? He did a really cool video on it. Was it Architected Games? I think I would have to remember now. But yeah, he went through and played a bunch of it and was like, this is cool. It's even got things like you you have to like uncover the map, like, or not the map, but like the instructions for like your game bits and pieces because it's in an indecipherable language until you find scripts in different parts of the dungeons, and like it's a really cool looking game.
Oh, it's definitely cool looking, but I guess it maybe it's just a little bit deeper than I thought it was on the surface level of watching like different videos of it and such. So
It's a cute Souls like is what it is.
okay. I think so another one that's on my wish list that I'm sort of interested in. Although I don't think it's a very exciting game. It kind of takes me back from like the late 90s video games and like the like, computers and such, but that's Norco. Norco is like it's a point and click text based game. And it's very deep in story, it's very deep in kind of what you can do with it, but it's like one of those like point and click old school games. But I think that's why I like it, because it's very similar to like one of my old school favorite games is oh my gosh, what is the name of it? I'm trying to remember what is the name of that game. While I look that up, do you know about Norco at all?
I just looked it up before we got to this category, and I have to say it looks fun. It kind of gives me original Fallout vibes and a
Oh yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of what was that post-apocalypse? It was like a character-driven, almost Earthboundy post-apocalypse game where you would have like some really like terrible, harrowing consequences for your actions. Like people would die and famines would happen.
Uh,
Somewhere between that and original Fallout is kind of what I'm getting.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. I'm trying to
It,
think.
it
Um,
is called. I love how none of Lisa the Painful. That's what I'm thinking.
oh, I've never heard
Somewhere
of that
between
one.
original Fallout and Lisa the Painful is the kind of vibe that Narco gives me.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I think Norco just kind of strikes that old school niche, like Windows 95 game vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That Full Throttle. So Full Throttle was a game that LucasArts did years ago, where you were this it was like this comic book story with you were you're part of a motorcycle gang or whatever. And it was, your character was you know, just caught up in a really weird kind of almost like murder story kind
like a
of
Mad
thing.
Max kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And so that's the vibe that Norco gives me. And I kind of like it because like back in the day, like Full Throttle was like my jam for games and PC. Like I still have my Windows 95 or 98 disc upstairs for this game.
LucasArts was like the king of point and click adventures.
Yeah, I mean, LucasArts had Full Throttle. They had, what is that one? Man, I'm really testing my my history here on video games. So LucasArts. Wasn't did LucasArts do the they didn't do the Dungeons and Dragon one, did they?
Oh, I don't know if they did.
Okay. Monkey Island was
Monkey Island is their big name to fame.
That was a point and click one. There's a few of them that were just good in that time frame.
In the Discord, I sent you the link to Adam Millard's Tunic video, and also Video Game Donkey's got a short review on Lisa the Painful.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look.
Take a look at those.
And then the other two on this list is Neon White, which I didn't know of until this list came out, and that thing looks very interesting. It's like a speed running FPS, I guess is what they call it.
It is. This was a game I reviewed to some degree when we did the whole the Summer Games episode.
Okay.
It was one of the more niche ones that got showed off, and I thought it was neat. I'm not a speedrunner. I occasionally tune into the speedrunning community just to see what they come up with, because there's some fun stuff.
Yeah.
In that regard, and it's really interesting to see a game that's specifically geared toward speedrunning. And the mechanics of this one are unique. I haven't completely figured out it, so it's somewhat card. I don't think it's deck building, but there's cards involved to some degree, and you have to drop cards for speed, or I don't know the full mechanics of it. It's a really unique input system though.
Yeah, I mean, it looks interesting, and I guess I totally forgot that we had talked about this one, but but we've talked about a lot of games on this podcast so far. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's a very interesting concept, and I think the way that they execute it looks really cool. Again, it gets massive praise for its game design and execution of gameplay, and I think at some point I will check it out just to say I checked it out and check it off the box.
Yeah,
but it looks amazing.
It reminds me a little bit of Mirror's Edge, in the way that it's definitely based around parkour as kind of a core mechanic.
Okay.
And it's got that sleek white environment to it. But I just I really like games that you can tell. I'm a software developer, so I really like games that are just tight and sleek from a design perspective like this. They make me feel really good. So even if this ends up not being like a game that I personally would play all the time, I just respect that it exists.
Yeah, fair enough. And then lastly, but definitely not last in its content, and that's Stray. And this game, my friend, this game is fantastic.
You liked it?
I love it.
Okay.
I never thought that playing as a cat would be as fun as Blue 12 Studio did with this game.
Good. I had high hopes for it. I haven't played it. I just have watched a bunch of reviews for it. And the consensus that I've pretty much put together is that the idea was really cool, but it wasn't executed as well as it could have been.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think so. Here's the thing that I think Stray has a lot going for it. Is I think the mechanic of the cat being the main character here, the mechanics of it really shine to me that they spent a lot of time trying to be a realistic character, meaning the movements, the controls, the things that you can do with it. Like it took a realistic approach. I think additionally, the environments and the way that you interacted with the environments really lend itself to be very Fallout ish. You know what I mean? Like Fallout New Vegas kind of vibes.
Sure.
And I think it just took it to a different level that I don't think anybody ever has been able to achieve with using like an animal as your main character, right?
Mhm.
Like I think what's the name of that? Okami? Whatever. What is, I can't remember, the one that came out on the Wii. Is it
with the spirit
Okami?
dog?
Yeah.
That one I never played. It looked pretty.
I mean, it was an okay game. Like it was good for what it was. But I think what Stray does is Stray really took the perceived character to the level of actually feeling like you're playing like a cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was mechanically it seems smooth for the most part. Um, I liked there's little things they did, little details in the game, like the like making sure your jumps were correct every time because you're a cat, you've got feline dexterity.
Yeah.
And like little movement details like that, I think were good to really capture the non-human movement. Your
Mhm.
ability to like funnel through really tight spaces and across like really thin catwalks, that kind of stuff. But they and I haven't played it. I haven't played it really. I've just watched a bunch of reviews on it, but the consensus just generally seems to be that the story is lackluster. Your characterization as this animal is kind of an afterthought, and
Hmm.
the level design gets pretty samey. So while it's
Yeah.
mechanically fluid, the game holistically doesn't super hold up well.
Yeah, see, I think that's where I'm wondering if people are just being a little bit oversensitive to the size of the world. I mean, you can't, so when you think about size and scale, right? I think I think they've kind of gone into this when like Elden Ring was made, right? And I think they were talking about like creating this being able to create a world that you feel that is vast and huge, right?
Right.
But that's when you're like a human, right? And you have a much much more different perspective of the world from a point of view, from a POV. Whereas with a cat, your POV is it's you're smaller and the world seems large, but at the same time, it in actuality, it's not, right?
Right.
And I think that's what, from a realistic perspective, I think they did that well. But I understand the consensus around the I guess the miniature level design of the game, but I feel like that's a product of the perspective. I don't think that's a product of them the
I
game
don't know that
itself.
it's world size that people take issue with. Donkey's got a really good review of it.
Okay.
And I posted that along in Discord too. He just doesn't like how I'm trying to form a good comparison in my head. Think back to like Portal. I think Portal is a good example to compare it to, where you've
Okay.
got a game it's designed around this unique input system from a unique perspective. Um, but Portal is not very big. It's not a very big game either.
Yeah.
It's a set of self-contained levels for the most part with a simple narrative. But it's really the atmosphere is really well done. The characterization is really well done. And everything just seems to fit together in a nice little box, whereas Stray kind of feels like it meanders a little more in what it's trying to do.
Hmm.
It's pretty beautiful to look at, and the mechanics are pretty well thought through. But holistically, as a game, it just doesn't quite sit at that same 10 out of 10 level that Portal would.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So out of these 5 titles, I mean, I know you haven't played many of them, but what is your gut saying that you think could win the best debut indie?
I think I'm biased towards Tunic. I think realistically, if I had to make a guess, so I know I'm not super high on Stray myself, but credit where credit is due. I think they tried for something unique that hasn't been done very much, and people just like cats. I think Stray is going to get a lot of votes just because they like cats, if I'm being honest. In my opinion, though, it would either be Neon White or Tunic that would get the best indie debut. I think those two deserve it the most.
So out of Tunic and Neon White, which one?
Having not really played much of either, they're pretty neck and neck. I think they're two different games for two different audiences, and I think they're really great for either of those audiences. I don't know what their mass appeal is. Tunic probably has more mass appeal than Neon White does.
All right. So Tunic?
Tunic. Final answer.
Tunic. I'm going with Stray. I'm sticking to my guns with Stray. I think Stray certainly has the critics vote these days on its originality and its way of the way it designed its game. I think it had a good good like amount of gameplay for what it was. And I think it was very original. I think it's something that hasn't really been done. And I think that's where I think it kind of edges out the competition.
Yeah. I think that it's good to see developers take a chance.
Absolutely.
And they should be rewarded for that. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And it's hard to get a perfect 10 out of 10 if you're trying something this new.
Absolutely. I mean,
Tunic, I think, is a fantastic game, but I don't think it's really doing anything exceptionally different.
Yeah, but that's what's funny though, and then that's gonna lead into our next category, and then that's best multiplayer. Like, I think there's there's a lot of games that get high praise and get very high critic praise, even when they're not changing formula, even when they're not doing things. But I think, to your point, when games like Stray come out that are clear differentiators in what they're trying to do versus some other games and do it well, I feel like those sometimes do go unrewarded. However, I think Stray is I'm hoping that Stray is in that upper category that kind of inks past some of those more tried and true formulas, if you will.
Yeah. I would not be upset if Stray got the best debut indie.
So, speaking of that next category in best multiplayer, I feel like this one is just going to be a pretty quick gloss over. But best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and basically massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game, genre, or platform. So the nominees are, and there's a winner in my mind in here, but I'm just gonna pick the one that I know that's gonna win because that's just what we do here, right? But
I'm interested to know because I'm also very confident in which one it's going to be, and I'm interested in which you're going to pick.
the top five here, or sorry, not the top five. The five nominees are Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So this category is very weighted into a specific category.
Yeah, yeah. When people think multiplayer, they generally like they think Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like I would not vote for Call of Duty. I don't like Call of Duty. I haven't liked Call of Duty basically since World at War, and the multiplayer of Black Ops was fun, but I only pulled it out on occasion to like play locally.
Yeah, so what I can say is Modern Warfare, the one before this, it was kind of like the remake of the namesake game from prior, which is Modern Warfare. I can honestly say that game was that game was fantastic. I do not generally play Call of Duty games ever.
Now, is that the modern? So that's not Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, was it?
No. We're talking about it's basically a reboot of Modern Warfare it was 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And
Because Call of
then
Duty 4 was like a masterpiece.
oh yeah. But like the new generation of Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, of the same name of the prior Call of Duty 4, honestly, it was fantastic. Both the campaign and the actual multiplayer perspective of the game, they nailed it. I think it was a 10 out of 10. What I could say about Modern Warfare 2, I got it just because I liked the original Modern Warfare 2. This one, I not so much. I think they missed heavily on Modern Warfare 2. Unfortunately, I think it's still getting a lot of high praise. Multiverses, when I was researching or when I was looking at the different games here, I was like, how did I not know this game existed?
Every time I see a posting that says, "Hey, we released more content for multiverses," the first thing that pops into my brain is, we're still committing to the bit. We're still not admitting that this was a joke.
But like, let's look at the roster here for a moment. Like, I was impressed, right? We have Gizmo, we have Stripe from Gremlins. We have Rick and Morty. We have LeBron.
Rick and Morty are in there now.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
The Iron Giant, Tasmanian Devil, Velma, Batman, Bugs Bunny, Finn the Hunman, Finn the Human. Jeez.
Finn's hummus.
Yeah, hummus. Harley Quinn, Jake the Dog, Rain Dog. I don't know what Rain Dog is. Shaggy, Steven Verse. I don't know. Steven Universe. I don't know who that is.
It's a big cartoon for Gen Zers.
Okay. Superman, Tom and Jerry, Wonder Woman, and there's still more to come. Now, who in their right mind would not want to play if you play brawlers, right? Like what's the most popular brawler out there?
Smash.
Yeah, that's it. That game, Smash Brothers. No, I played. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, like if you've ever wanted to play these types of characters in like Smash Brothers and turn it up a notch, like this is your game, man. Like I didn't know this existed until recently, and I was like, okay, I gotta buy this.
The most impressive thing about this game is just learning how much Warner Brothers owns.
Right.
How many IPs Warner Brothers owns.
Yeah, so I think ultimately speaking, I do think this is, there's been like, they did the Nickelodeon one, which I think was stupid. It was really bad. The games.
You oh come on, Nigel Thornberry though.
Yeah,
Smashing.
but that game was still bad. Like it was so horrible. Um, Everybody has tried to repeat and remake and improve on the Smash Brothers formula. This is the first time I think a game has even come up to the level of Smash Brothers.
Is it good? Is it actually like as mechanic? Because the thing about Smash Brothers that makes it so powerful, other than it having a bunch of Nintendo IPs, is just raw mechanical tightness. It's like a frame perfect fighter.
As far as I'm aware and what I have read and seen, um, people call it a rival to Smash Brothers.
Okay. You know, more power to them if they can dethrone that juggernaut.
I don't think, based on what I know, I don't think this can dethrone a Smash Brothers just because I think Smash Brothers has that Nintendo IP along with it that people are just comfortable with. And it's been around for a long time. What I think though that multiverses does is it brings another option into the space, and it's not just Smash Brothers, carrying the torch for all brawlers like this.
Yeah, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the best part about it is the game is free to play.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I started out thinking it was a joke, and now I'm actually like, there's some good things about this.
And it's not just free to play, but it's free to play with crossplay.
How do they manage crossplay in a brawler? That seems like a recipe for disaster.
Right. Right. So, I mean, I think it just has a lot of things going for it. And do I think it warrants best multiplayer? Maybe not, but I think it's got potential. Overwatch 2.
No? Oh, I'm a huge fan of Overwatch 2.
I don't know. I just can't get into it. I think there's too many better options than Overwatch 2, in my opinion.
I'm biased because I play Overwatch all the time. That's what me and my friends play.
That's fair.
We jam it hard.
I really am a huge fan of Splatoon 3.
That game looks like a joke. Splatoon, I have never been able to take Splatoon seriously.
I mean, it's again, it's Nintendo's version of their own multiplayer game, right? It's fun. It's fun for what it is. I don't think it's best multiplayer, but I think it's a fun game. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It looks okay.
And then the one that we've talked about quite a bit on this podcast, and when Joe was joining us previously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. I know Joe was kind of down on this after completing it because he felt like it didn't. I think not to quote him, but I think it was around the lines of just didn't feel like there was enough content there. But I really enjoyed the game. I still play it. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
I think it's definitely top contender here. I think it's between Overwatch and Ninja Turtles. I think those are the two that are going to duke it out.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't think Multiverses or Splatoon have a ghost of a chance. I don't know about Call of Duty. Call of Duty has like a cult following.
Yep.
Most of them are PlayStation stands.
Yep. Yep.
The issue being that Activision, I mean, Blizzard sucks too, but Activision also sucks. I don't know. I think Overwatch is definitely a better game than Call of Duty.
I would agree on that, but my gut's telling me, and this is what I'm gonna go with. My gut's telling me Call of Duty is gonna win this one.
Call of Duty is Call of Duty is a juggernaut. Part of the reason the games suck is because they've never had a reason not to suck. You know, what do you do? Who's competing with Call of Duty? Counter-Strike?
Well, there was Battlefield for a while that was, and then Battlefield has kind of fallen off the paces there. Like Battlefield was good for like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, but after 4, it just kind of just fall off. It just fell off the earth.
People liked Battlefield 1, didn't they? Like the World War One themed one.
Yes, there's still a lot of people that play it. Like I'll sometimes pop online with it. I didn't particularly enjoy it. I just didn't enjoy the era that it was in. I'm more of the I'm more of the kind of the normal like present day kind of tactical shooter that like 3 and 4 was. But yes, Battlefield 1, a lot of people have enjoyed that game as well as just continue to play it today. Like if I hop on, there's you know a lot of people online playing it.
Why isn't Halo Infinite on this list?
I was gonna ask you about that.
I forgot about Halo Infinite. I would vote for Halo Infinite over any of these, honestly.
I was interested to understand why Halo Infinite is not on any of these lists. But particularly on best multiplayer, because I think it's better than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from a multiplayer perspective.
And you really enjoy TMNT.
I do.
Like nothing against TMNT, but I have a hard time putting it in this particular category.
Yeah, I would agree.
Multiverses and Splatoon I think are both jokes. Overwatch 2 is pretty great, although it's got some hosts of issues, partially because Blizzard is circling the drain. But same can be said for Call of Duty. Blizzard and Activision are basically the same company. They're circling the drain. Call of Duty hasn't had a reason to improve in ever. Halo Infinite, meanwhile, has unironically released the best Halo multiplayer experience probably ever. It feels like old school Halo, but with modern mechanics. And it's just the perfect best of both worlds.
And they keep on adding content to it too.
The winter update just came out. I keep trying to bring that up and I keep forgetting. The winter update just came out, which includes beta access to their new Forge tools, which is like their Forge this time around is like basically just a game editor. Like it's almost straight up dev tools. Like people are making some insane things in Halo Infinite Forge. I'm really excited for what comes out.
I'll have to check it out. All right. So best multiplayer, what is your choice in this category? Who's gonna take the cake here?
If I have to choose with what's in front of me, I'm gonna pick Overwatch 2. But if I'm allowed to write and vote, I'm gonna say Halo Infinite.
Well,
I don't think I've ever said anything so contentious in my life.
I don't think they'll take in write-in votes, but we'll check with the Game Awards and see what they say.
I will send them a strongly worded letter.
Strongly worded letter. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is gonna win this one, unfortunately. I think
I think that's the realistic answer. It's not the answer I want.
I do think Splatoon 3 is a close second, in my opinion. But I just feel like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, just by sheer popularity. And the Game Awards is a popularity contest in many reasons, or many places. And I just think Call of Duty is that one.
I think I read somewhere that Splatoon is actually quite popular in the Asian markets.
Yeah.
But even among the markets that really love it, I think I've read Splatoon 3 specifically wasn't super great.
Really? Okay. Yeah,
And I
that
have
might
no
be.
source for that.
All right. Well, moving on. I think these next couple we can probably zip to pretty quickly because I don't think I have a lot to say about them other than there's a clear cut winner in these next three, in my opinion. So best sports slash racing game. So this would be for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. The nominees are F1 22, Formula One 2022, FIFA 23, which I think is a very unfair advantage in this list.
It's not a
NBA two,
sports game.
NBA what?
FIFA's not a sports game.
What?
It's a gambling game.
NBA 2K23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie Ollie World. So all of these games are good, right? Gran Turismo 7, I'm gonna say this. I bought it when I bought the PS5. And wow, Gran Turismo 7 is return to roots GT3, like the old school GT3 A-Spec game from like PlayStation 2.
Mhm.
It is truly return to form game. It's fantastic. The sad thing is Gran Turismo and racing games, they don't win these things. They don't
Even in their own category, they just don't have a chance.
No, because the sports games like FIFA and Madden have dominated this category for years.
I guess, yeah. I guess there's probably more sports nuts than car nuts.
Mm-hmm. But man, I really wish that my sentimental like wish here is Gran Turismo 7 wins. But I want to be honest, I don't think so. What I think is going to happen is it's going to be FIFA 23. FIFA 23, if some of you don't know, it's the last FIFA that is going to be under the EA banner. And in FIFA 2023, you can play as, if anybody has seen the HBO show, oh my gosh, the soccer show on HBO. What's the name?
Look at us remembering names.
Oh my god.
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso, yes. So you can play as Ted Lasso's team in in FIFA 23. So you can play as, I forget what the name of the team is. But anyways, you can play as Ted, Ted Lasso can be your coach on your custom team, or you can play as the team that is represented in Ted Lasso. Additionally, I think for the first time ever, when the World Cup kicks off, you can play along as the World Cup bracket.
That is cool. I will say I don't play much for sports games, but one thing my stepdad and I used to do every year was we'd play Madden, and we would do the Super Bowl. Whoever was going to play the Super Bowl that year, we would the night before we would do our own Madden game and determine who was going to win the Super Bowl and see how it matched up. But that was always really fun.
Yeah, and so I think the sentimental favorite, because of FIFA 23, it's going to be the last one, and this is like the swan song, and there's so many cool things that are included in FIFA 23. I think it just runs away with it this year.
Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't. Props to Gran Turismo for being a really cool looking car simulator. What about Forza Horizon? I'm surprised that's not on here. People like that game, don't they?
They do. It's just not as popular as GT. Like
Okay.
GT is the quintessential racing game. I mean, the last few years, Forza has beat it out in this category of being on here, but that's just because the last couple of Gran Turismos have been absolutely horrible. Like Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 6, it was 6 Sport or whatever, and then Gran Turismo 5 was kind of like the beginning of the downturn of it.
Sure.
And so I think, it's just been absent from this category because of that. But GT7, I think outweighs Forza, the most recent Forza, in my opinion. And I play both. I like both.
Yeah, I don't know much about them. I see Forza every year on the Xbox panel. It's a beautiful looking game.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all I really know about it. And they had a Halo Warthog
Yeah.
add-on, so it's got my vote.
I really like the Hot Wheels add-on for Forza.
Yeah, that looks like a ton of fun.
That is really fun.
That looks like a ton of fun.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guns on this one. FIFA 23 all the way. What do you think, Mike?
I think you're probably right there.
I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It's gonna be the clear cut winner. All right. So the next one is the best simulation / strategy game. Best game focused on real time or turn based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. Mike, what are the nominees for the best simulation and strategy?
Our nominees are Dune Spice Wars by Shiro Games / Funcom, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which I am now for the first time realizing that's an Ubisoft game. Total War Warhammer 3 by Creative Assembly and Sega. 2 Point Campus by 2 Point Studios and Sega. Victoria 3 by Paradox Development, Paradox Interactive.
So the game that I know the least about here is Victoria 3. I know it's a fairly popular Steam game. But I don't know. It seems, it kind of screams like more like old school Risk than it does something that I would want to jump into, but I don't know. Do you know
not like
about
Risk? I love Risk.
No, I love Risk. I think I'd rather play Risk than this game, is what I'm getting.
Oh.
So I don't know if you know much about this game, but it just feels like a watered down, more graphically sharp version of Risk. And I know I often on this podcast, I really talk about like fidelity and graphics that I really like. But I think the RTS format of Risk is really difficult to duplicate in this type of, like, I think of the way that I see it, and after I looked at Victoria a bit and watched some videos of it, it's like Risk meets Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, in what way?
So you build railroads, and then you can you can go and experience the railroad working and zoom in and do this other stuff, right?
That actually sounds really fun.
But I don't know. That's just not. I just don't see that as something that I would want to do with an RTS. But
I don't know. I have a lot of fun with Civilization. I play a lot of that. This kind of feels more like Civ. I'd be willing to give it a try. I really enjoy those Grand Strategy 4X games. And then on the tabletop side, I played a lot of Risk. I play Warhammer. Like that's the turn-based expansionist combat TTS type game. That's my jam. I think I could get behind this. This looks like fun. I'll probably actually buy it and check it out at some point. Whether it deserves best simulation strategy of the year, I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks cool. I'm not saying I wouldn't play it, but I mean, I probably will at some point. But
I am also a sucker, as we discussed, I think the last time, for the random meaningless hop-ins.
Yeah.
Like a Rock Raider style. That was one of my favorite parts about some of the roller coaster tycoon stuff is like, you know what? I built this really stupid roller coaster that goes on for 2.5 minutes and just basically breaks every bone in your body. I want to ride this.
Yeah.
And some of the newer roller coaster tycoons let you do that.
Dude, I forgot about that. And I when I saw this, and for folks who are on the podcast, I'm holding up when we talked about Rock Raiders. I went out and I found Rock Raiders on Windows disk for Mike. I'm gonna bring it out to him this weekend.
Oh, man.
But Lego Island, I played this. I remember playing this after I saw this, and I was like, holy smokes, I forgot about this game.
That was one of the better old school Lego games.
Yeah.
There's a new one out. Well, it's kind of a new series. I think it's Lego City. That's basically like Lego's answer to Grand Theft Auto, and it kind of looks like a good time.
Yeah.
It's got those Lego Island vibes where it's just kind of open world and you just running around breaking shit and being a Lego guy. But it's a much grander scale.
Yeah, definitely have to check it out. But like moving on, so like 2 Point Campus, right? 2 Point Campus, I'll tell you this game, I don't know. I kind of I played the demo of this and what have you, but 2 Point Campus, in my opinion, is like it's like Leisure Suit Larry meets SimCity.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it's just like, it's a dead formula, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know.
I was never terribly interested in The Sims to begin with. That wasn't my jam. The people who like that really like that. Like that's like all they play.
Exactly.
And more power to them. And for people who really enjoy The Sims kind of gameplay, they would probably really like this. I think there's a little bit too in here that's kind of like, how heavily does this lean into Sims versus management style game? Is it more like Sims? Is it more like Prison Architect? Like,
in my opinion, it's more like Sims.
Okay.
So it leans more into that than anything else.
The only thing I really know about this game is that Spiffing Brit immediately broke it in half.
All right.
Because he did a whole video on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's, I don't, in my opinion, nothing against the developers of this. I just don't feel like it deserves a place in this category.
No, I think it's kind of uninspired.
Now, Total War Warhammer. I'm gonna pause after I say that and pass that to you, because I know you're a huge Warhammer fan.
I'm a budding Warhammer fan.
Okay.
I've been playing for about a year, and haven't gotten too far into the video games yet. This one is on my list. I'm picking this up soon. This game looks absolutely fantastic. Very excited about it. I've all the reviews I've read are just gushing about it. It's Warhammer campaign, real-time strategy rather than turn-based is the only difference between that and the tabletop. It just looks awesome. I
really hope, and I haven't had a chance to play this yet, but honestly, I think I really hope that this game wins, because I think the way that it looks, the way that it's perceived in the gameplay and such, I feel like this is a return to form for Warhammer games in the modern era. I feel like Warhammer has been absent for some time because they've just been not able to create anything fun and enjoyable and something that actually functions and works. Whereas this game looks like it functions and works as intended, as well as some of the dynamic things like dynamic weather and so on and so forth. I just think it's really, really cool.
The chaos gates that open up in the middle of the map
Yeah.
and just start spawning demons.
I mean, it just looks really cool. And I agree. This is one that is currently on PC, Xbox Game Pass. So I'm looking to download this soon because I can play it for free with Game Pass. And I literally just I want to play it just to check it out because it looks that fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be one of my pickups for the holiday sales.
So moving backwards again, looking at the next one, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This game, I bought this game. I have the other one as well. I forget what it's called, Mario and Rabbids, whatever. Again, the Mario Rabbids formula, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's a Mario RTS that just adds a lot of fantastic different aspects with the Rabbids added to it, and it deserves to be on this list. And I really want Warhammer to win, but I think the critic winner here is gonna be Mario and Rabbids.
I think that those two are neck and neck. I don't know which one is more likely to win, if I'm being honest. Between those two, I think Total Warhammer 3 has the advantage of not being a Nintendo product, so it's got a wider audience.
That's fair.
Because it's on PC. Is it on any other? It's probably not on a console. You usually don't have those types of games on consoles.
Oh yeah, it's on PC. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it is not. It's only PC. It's on Epic and Steam.
Okay, so I guess I don't know how the PC audience compares to the Switch audience. But yeah, both are fantastic games. Rabbids, it just looks like pure fun, and I've heard that the strategic depth is actually it's got a lot of depth to it.
Oh yeah, it is like, I mean, I struggle, and what I mean by that is struggling in the sense of it's a challenging game. It's not something when you think Mario and you're playing Mario Brothers. There's some real strategic decisions and gameplay here that the mechanics they roped into this are just fantastic. And again, like the first one was amazing, and this second one is just as amazing, if not better. Dune Spice Wars, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know, man. This game, I
know absolutely nothing about it.
I bought it. It's like Civ with a Dune skin on it.
It's kind of just the same thing.
Yeah. And again, it's not a bad game. But it goes back to talking about like repeatable formulas. And this is I feel like things like Victoria and Warhammer have a very distinct separation from things like Civ, whereas I think Spice Wars really just leans right into the Civ and putting a new skin on it.
The other thing is, Dune just feels played out to me.
Mhm.
Like I know it's a really good, it's one of those classic quintessential sci-fi novels.
Mhm.
Um, but it's hard for me to believe that it's such a big deal that you have to have two movies and a series of video games revolving around it. Like,
Yeah.
where is the Isaac Asimov's Foundation video game? Show me that one.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Logan's Run
Yeah,
VR.
Logan's Run. Let's have a Blade Runner RTS. Why don't we? Like, come on, guys.
I mean, that
That's
actually might be fun. A point and click Blade Runner, like think original Fallout, but Blade Runner.
I mean, have you played the original Blade Runner?
I didn't know. I didn't know there was a game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll bring it with me when I come out this weekend. You can gander your eyes on it. It is
Throw it on the Odin.
That's where it's at. All right, so moving on with this one. I just think I'm sticking to my guns here. I think Mario and Rabbids take it. I'm hoping, and I really am willing, Warhammer to take this one, but I'm gonna stick to my guns that Mario and Rabbids is gonna take it.
You think so? You think it's just got more of that public eye to it?
It's got the reach, right? It's got the Nintendo reach here.
Now, have you been marking down on the spreadsheet my selection versus your selections in these?
Yep, I
Good.
am.
Good. I'm interested to see how well those match up.
So which one are you taking on this one?
What do I want, or what do I think is more likely? Because I think I might be in lockstep with you. I want Warhammer to win. Man, but it's probably going to be Rabbids.
I would choose my what I'm sticking here with my theme is the ones that I think that are going to win.
Yeah. It's probably going to be Rabbids. Strategy games, I feel, are already one of the more niche genres just because of the intensity that it takes to play some of the more complicated ones.
Yeah.
And Warhammer is it's a mashup of a niche genre with a niche brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not that, I mean, maybe Warhammer's not so niche since it's been around for 35 years, but it's more niche than fucking Mario.
Yeah. I think it's yeah. I mean it has a specific audience that I think doesn't align with the more broader crowd, basically. I think is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So if we come at it from that perspective, if we assume that the only people who are going to play Mario Rabbids are Mario fans, and the only people who are going to play Warhammer are Warhammer fans, I think you're going to see a much higher volume of people playing Mario than you would Warhammer 3. And from that perspective alone, I think Mario is going to win it.
Right. No, I agree. All right. So that's final answer for you, Mario?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. I think again, this is another I feel like this is another slam dunk category here with the nominees. So for best family, the best game appropriate for family play, introspective of genre or platform. What are the nominees, Mike?
You got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is the new 3D open world Kirby game. You've got once again Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which is what it's episodes 1 through 9 now that they've all got as Lego.
Yeah.
So Lego Star Wars series needed another compilation.
Yeah.
Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. Nintendo Switch Sports. It's basically a Switch remake of Wii Sports, which was fun, but not a contender of anything. And then good old Splatoon 3.
What was that sound effect again? All right. I'm just going to cut to the chase here. First off, big call out for 5 Nintendo Switch games here.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch has the corner on the family game market.
Yeah.
And probably the corner on local multiplayer. I can't think of very many, if any at all, local multiplayer games anymore that aren't Nintendo games.
Unless you count like brawlers.
Oh, okay, sure. But guess what? Fucking Smash. Like multiverses? Nah.
There's that one studio that has made there's 2 games now. It's the one with the prison, where it's like the co-op prison. And I guess it's not multiplayer, but it's co-op. Like, and then there's It Takes Two. They made both games. I think.
Oh yeah. Okay. So there's some indie games still doing it.
Yeah, and I think those are some really good games. But I agree, local co-op. Nintendo is.
If
is
you're looking
certainly the
for a
leader of the
local
pack.
party game, you buy a Switch. You buy a Nintendo console.
Agreed.
That's
Yeah.
what you do.
So I'm gonna cut to the chase here on this one. Hands down, because I don't think we need to go through these. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. That's hands down. That's the winner of this category.
What? With
Yeah.
Mario Rabbids in the same one?
Yeah. Yep.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think Mario Rabbids. I would not sit down with my kids and my wife to play Mario Rabbids, but we would definitely sit down and play Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
I suppose Mario Rabbids would end up being more of a single player game. Like definitely playable with family, but you're right.
Yes.
You'd probably approach it as a single player game, wouldn't you?
Yes, I do.
All right, you've got me convinced.
Nintendo
Which is
Switch-
upsetting because they've been making Lego Star Wars compilations since like for 10 years now. I had Lego the complete Lego episodes 1 through 6 on like Game Boy Color. Or not Game Boy Color, it was Game Boy Advance. Like I played it on like 3 different consoles, and like it's nothing. This is the same game they've been releasing for a decade. 2 decades.
I mean, I agree. But I'll tell you, like the formula that they have, and even though it's the same formula of game, it's about the content of the game, right? It's what they do is unique to the story that they're telling within the game. And what they've done with the Skywalker Saga is something, honestly, I don't picking up and playing it, I don't feel like it's a repeat. It's a repeat of the type of game. It's not a repeat of the content. And there's a distinction there, right? They really added a lot of new elements to, they've brought in all of the classic areas of the Skywalker universe that is associated with Star Wars. Things like, Tatooine and Dagobah and so on and so forth. And even though they've covered all of these areas in the prior, episode X games, the story is still different here. They still found a way to innovate the story to make it fun, to make it enjoyable, and to make it make it fresh. Which is astounding. I don't know how they do it. Like, I just don't know how they actually, to your point, it's the same Lego game, but they just somehow up themselves.
Yeah, it's not that it's not fun. It just feels like a cop-out to me. Like, listen, if there's a foot of snow outside and you're looking for something fun to sit down to do with your family, the Lego games they're just fun, casual, lackadaisical things to do with your time. You know, when my wife and I were trying to find video games to play together, that's what we just bought a bunch of Lego games that were all on sale for like $6 for the whole kit and caboodle.
Well, there you
and
go.
Played through a bunch of them.
There you go.
I can't say they're great games, but I can't say they're not. It's just the Star Wars one specifically. They've done it so many times. So many times.
But I can tell you the Skywalker saga is different. I don't know how, but it's just different.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think about this category?
I originally came in immediately saying Mario and Rabbids for most of the same reasons we just discussed in the simulation strategy one. But yeah, if you're looking for a casual family game, especially if you think family game means you're going to have like your 6 and your 10-year-old playing with you, Lego Star Wars just makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one, maybe other than Splatoon. It's the only one that makes sense at all. Nintendo Switch Sports gets boring in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, so Kirby is actually fun too.
I like Kirby, but I don't think it has the same appeal.
Agreed.
As like I'm going to sit down and play with my kids or my brother or my wife.
Right. Lego Star Wars appeals to everyone, in my opinion.
And it's easy to play with 2 or 3 other people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not overwhelming to play with multiple people. So is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
I feel the
I am the mascot of an evil corporation. Oh.
All right. Best fighting game, King of Fighters 15.
I'm confused. I don't see a Smash.
Well, Smash didn't come out this year.
You're right.
Smash came out like 3 years ago.
Well, they had Star Wars on the last one. Came out 20 decades ago. Anyway, best fighting games. Read them off, Chris.
Oh man. So we got DNF Duel, which I don't understand this one here, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. I'll come back to that one in a minute. King of Fighters 15, Multiverses, and Sifu. Now, I didn't know about Sifu before we started, doing this yesterday when we started talking about doing this show. But I actually think Sifu looks kind of cool. I also like the name of the company, Slow Clap. But I do think it's a very interesting game. Have you heard of Sifu before this?
No, I haven't. I kind of don't touch the fighting genre for the most part.
Oh, fine.
It's not that they're bad. It's just I'm not good at them as part of it.
Okay.
So I tend to avoid them because I just suck.
All right. So when I come over this weekend, I'm just going to bring a bunch of fighting games for us to play.
All right. I've got a Switch. You might be able to force me to play some Smash.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this, so like I said, I came back to DNF Duel. Like, that's a very weird game to put in here. I understand it's part of the fighting game genre, and I mean, I don't know. DNF Duel just more reminds me of like, I don't know. It is a fighting game. I just don't know why this game fits in the same breath as things like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or King of Fighters or even Multiverses for that matter.
I don't know anything about it. Like, I've never even heard of it before right now.
I've
at least heard of JoJo's King of Fighters and Multiverses.
Yeah, I mean, like, I I'm confused by it to be in this category just because I just don't think it's a very good game. So I won't belabor that. I'll just let that one go. But in my opinion, it's certainly between JoJo's, like JoJo's Bizarre, like this game, like JoJo's has been a staple in the arcade and fighting stick games for a long time.
Well, and it's got the Pokemon advantage where it's
Yeah,
or the anime brings in so many people that otherwise wouldn't have even played it.
exactly. And I think that's what JoJo's has really. And I discovered I didn't discover JoJo's until probably about 5 years ago. And I'm like, where was this all my life? Because I thought this is I mean, it's a really good series. But I don't know if it actually overshadows King of Fighters. And in my opinion, in this category, I think King of Fighters 15 is going to win this category just because I've been a fan of King of Fighters for decades, couple decades now. I've been playing it since 92. In the arcade and on gaming systems like different ones. Like it was on TurboGrafx 16 for Christ's sake. But King of Fighters 15 is like Return to Form King of Fighters, and it's kind of like Guilty Gear Strife that came out a couple of years ago. If it was last year or year before that, I think it was last year. Return to Form, and it in my opinion, it's probably just going to be the best fighter game in this. No one else can contend to it in this category. You have any thoughts?
Uh, with how little familiarity I have with most of these, I don't really have any thoughts other than what we've covered. King of Fighters, I am aware of because people talk about it in the same breath as Street Fighter, is mostly where I've heard. And Street Fighter's a monolith.
Yeah.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's got the Pokemon thing where it's an anime and a game, and it's got two different audiences combined, and it's a good game from what I hear. I don't know anything about DNF Duel. Don't know anything about Sifu. I still think Multiverses is just a meme. I think Warner Brothers is playing a trick on us. Uh, you know what I don't see on this list?
What?
Dragon Ball Ball Breakers.
What? Dragon Ball Ball Breakers?
There was a game that came out this year called Dragon Ball The Breakers. I just call it Ball Breakers. And it's not on this list.
Dragon Ball The Breakers. Okay, so IGN gave it 5 out of 10. Oh, Steam's got 6 out of 10. Came out on almost every platform.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great game. It's just got a funny name.
Oh, this looks like a very bad game. Oh my gosh. What did you just subject my eyes to? What is this? Now this is a joke. Somebody's playing a joke with this game.
Is this our first giveaway on the Patreon? A copy of Dragon Ball Breakers for the PS4
Oh my gosh.
or 5 or whatever PS we're on.
Oh man. That's brutal. That is just okay. So King of Fighters, is that your answer as well?
I don't know if I'm between King of Fighters and JoJo's, and only being vaguely aware of both of them based on reputation alone, I would have to say probably King of Fighters. It definitely looks like the more polished game.
Yeah, it is by far. But I think JoJo's edges on the fun factor.
Yeah, I could see that. It probably doesn't take itself nearly as seriously.
Correct. That is absolutely yeah, definitely not very seriously at all. But that's the type of game it is, right? All right.
You know what? As someone who is a massive fan of Ronnie James Dio, I think I have to pick JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You're gonna pick JoJo's? All right.
Yep.
I actually
That's my rainbow in the dark, baby.
I really I'm rooting for JoJo's to win, actually, to be very honest with you. All right. This is when we start getting serious in these last categories here. Although I think there's some hands down winners in these next three. So
these next three, yeah, particularly this next one.
Yeah. Best role playing game. Go.
All right. So top bottom we have Elden Ring from Software Bandai Namco. Live a Live by Historia. Oh, that's a Square Enix game.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Legends Arceus, Game Freak, Nintendo, Pokemon Company. Triangle Strategy by ArtDink/Square Enix. And
Yay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Monolith Soft /Nintendo.
Yay. All right. I'm just going to make this one quick. Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring's got this one in the bag.
Yeah. Granted, what I'll say really quick is Triangle Strategy, amazing game. It's really
I'm
great.
looking that up because I'm pretty sure I heard about that one. It kind of looks like a good old JRPG.
Yeah.
A la Shining Force.
Yes.
But with like yeah. Isometric grid-based JRPG.
Yeah.
Knowing nothing else about it, that already intrigues me.
Yeah, I mean, Triangle Strategy, if you like those type of games, hands down, you're gonna like it because it touches all of that nostalgia and more because it takes it to the next level. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I played 1, I played 2, I also played 3. Amazing game. Like it is by far, they have taken that series and have elevated it with the new version of Chronicles 3. But ultimately, Elden Ring, after playing Elden Ring, I don't think anything beats it in this category.
Elden Ring just takes the cake.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, and I know we're not supposed to talk about best game of the year yet, but Elden Ring blew everything else out of the water.
Yeah.
In just about every category that it could be considered in. It's just a smash.
I would agree, but I think there's one category that it misses in, and we'll get to that actually.
Yeah. It's not the best thing in every category for sure, but holistically, it's the best game that I've played in a long time.
I would agree.
I don't know what Live a Live is.
It's meh. I mean, Square Enix is. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's just not a great game. It's an okay game, and doesn't really deserve to be on this list, in my opinion.
The only thing I know about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is that Donkey's got a pretty funny video about it. Where he pokes fun at all the little idiosyncrasies of it.
But that's just those types of games, right? Like there's so many idiosyncrasies to those types of games. I mean, you could say that about any Final Fantasy game. You can say that about any of the what's the Final Fantasy and Disney crossover.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts, right? There's a lot of
that was a mess of a game.
I mean, they're still great games. I mean, don't get me wrong.
They are games. Kingdom Hearts 2 was fun. I genuinely enjoyed playing through the first 2 games. That's something my wife and I did together. They were a hot mess at best.
Well,
did you play Kingdom Hearts 3?
I haven't yet.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is even hotter and messier than the other 2 combined.
And the reason being I haven't played it yet is because I decided to start from the beginning again. So I'm playing all of them, including all the 1.2, the 1.5, the 2, the 2.5, the
boy.
2.8. I'm playing all of those until I get to 3.
Listen, let me tell you, even if you play through all the ancillary material, which they insist on making relevant every last bit of it in to the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 3 is not going to make any sense whatsoever. None. In fact,
but
you might be able to follow it easier if you have no idea what they're talking about.
I'm just trying to be a completionist on that one. I truly, I'll say this. I do enjoy the Kingdom Hearts series, and I agree that there's flaws, but I just enjoy the series itself.
I think the thing I like the Kingdom Hearts 3. So the Kingdom Hearts series has it's a series of vignettes, right? There's a bunch of Disney vignettes and a bunch of and it's all usually tied up with like a couple Final Fantasy-esque vignettes. All these little self-contained worlds with self-contained puzzles and things to do within them that all kind of tie together. The vignettes in Kingdom Hearts 3, I think, were the worst in the series. If I recall correctly, Megan and I never even finished it. There was 1 or 2 really fun vignettes, and the rest were just awful. And when you combine that with the fact that the story made less than 0 sense, it was just the hottest mess of a game.
Yeah,
so I just want to let you know before you play 17 games to figure out why the guy has a unicorn head. It's not a good game.
No, and look, I think that is a very fair criticism, and I again, I don't think that by any stretch of the imagination those games are perfect or fantastic games that they would deserve an award. But I think with any game, I think people will enjoy what they enjoy, right? And so I think they're good for what I appreciate for them, but I also appreciate the fact that they're not the greatest games in the world.
But I at least genuinely enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I mean, the final boss is Yu-Gi-Oh! Boat.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the interesting idiosyncrasies of those games. All right, so best role playing game, hands down, we're both going with Elden Ring.
Going with Elden Ring. With honorable mentions to Pokemon Legends Arceus, I think they shook up the formula in a way that the series desperately needed a shakeup.
I agree.
It's been on its back foot since probably Gen 6. X and Y was the last good mainline Pokemon game, I think. And Arceus tried something different. I don't know if it fully did what it needed to do, but I really liked their chutzpah on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I unfortunately my two sons, they play Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield were bad.
And I don't know. It just seemed like a stale game, in my opinion. Like it's just a repeated formula. And I actually agree with you. I think Arceus definitely changed up the formula in a very positive way. And I hope they continue to go down that direction, because I think getting away from their typical formula of the last 5 years, I think is a very much needed change.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh,
that, and I just want to mention that I have Triangle Strategy on my Steam wish list now. I'm actually really excited to check that game out.
Oh yeah. That's. I'm excited to hear about that. You know, if you want to try Triangle Strategy, you know, another one to try is Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler. I think I've heard of that one too.
Um, you said you have a Switch?
I do have a Switch.
I'll bring it
Oh,
out for you.
Octopath Traveler is a sequel.
Yeah, it does. It's coming out. It's either just came out or is coming out soon.
Well, I
But
tried to search Octopath Traveler and Steam froze.
Oh, but you know what? You froze. You're frozen on my screen.
Let me pull up Task Manager here. Oh, my computer is not having a good time. This is what I get for trying. Oh, there we go. It's unfrozen. I closed Chrome and everything started working again.
My computer is not having a good time.
I'm trying to run 4 monitors and a 5000 series AMD GPU. Forgive me.
Well, your camera is still frozen, but that's okay.
As long as my voice is being recorded.
it is, it sounds great and comes through clear. All right. Moving on to best action and adventure. Again, I think this one's a hands down. There's no question about this one. So the nominees are A Plague's Tale: Requiem, which in my opinion is a trash game. God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. Now, we've talked about Stray and Tunic at length, so I don't think we really need to dive into those. I think they're both very great games. I just don't think they're contenders in this category with God of War: Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West in this category.
So I think you're right. I also think God of War Ragnarok has not been out long enough to really be effectively judged here.
I think
it just came out recently, right?
Yeah, but the critics have had it for several weeks.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and when we talk about the Game Awards, it's heavily weighted to the critics' ratings. So, with that said, as I have discussed on this podcast numerous times, I am still 100% Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West is by far my favorite IP to date of all time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I still think God of War Ragnarok wins this category.
Yeah. It's a Sony game either way, for sure. I think both of those are probably gonna fare better than Stray or Tunic, just because they're both AAA games.
Agreed. I really want Horizon Forbidden West to win, and actually, I know previously I've discussed on this podcast that I wasn't a fan of that game very much. I feel like they dropped the ball. But
yeah, that's kind of the direction I'm coming at it. If it was God of War versus the first Horizon Zero Dawn,
yeah,
I think this would be a different ball game. But I think Ragnarok's got Forbidden West beat. I think it's gonna run away with it.
All right, moving on to best action game. Again, I still think there's a clear winner here. I don't think this one's going to take that long to talk to because we've talked about some of these games already.
I'm surprised. Okay, so we'll read off the read off the nominees.
So best action game, Bayonetta 3, which has a lot of controversy around it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. First off, there's 3 games in here that I don't know if even belongs in this category.
Yeah, that's that was what I was gonna say. Call of Duty is not an action game. That is a first person shooter. There's a distinct difference.
Yeah, but it is an action shooter game.
Oh.
I mean, it's essentially considered an action shooter.
It can be because Activision bribed a judge, sure.
No, but I mean, it really is, right? It's an arcade shooter. It always has been, right?
I guess.
Bayonetta 3 Great game. Doesn't come without its controversy, but it's a great game.
I was only tangentially aware of the controversy. If you'd like to go through it, we can.
I mean, to sum it up, the controversy is so Bayonetta 3 is the first time that they've went with a different actress for
Oh,
the
that's what it was. Because I know that the voice actress was making comments about it.
yeah, and and I don't want to take a deep dive in it, but it was a they 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 had some words around the fact that they weren't offered enough money to do it. And so, Platinum Games went with a different voice artist. And apparently there was more behind it and all this hoopla and back and forth. And so, I mean, it is what it is. And I understand the tiffs around that. And I don't think, though, that it should play in the realm of, game development, meaning them getting slighted because the game is excellent game. I just think personal issues need to stay out of the politics of some certain things.
Sure.
I'll say it that way. But I don't disregard their claims and their thoughts and their perspective, because I think it's important from a creator and a creative perspective. But I don't think that plays any realm in the conversation around like game awards and how a game is perceived and received by the general public in that way. But I still don't think Bayonetta 3 is better than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, probably not, unfortunately. Call of Duty is such a drag.
Expand on that.
Well, I will when they will. I don't know, man. It just Call of Duty has been so hackney and uninspired for a long time. Give or take a few gems. What was the one there was one more recently that actually looked really, really good. Was it just Call of Duty World War II or something like that? Like a couple years ago.
I think, was it Warzone 2 or was it Vanguard?
No, it was literally called Call of Duty WW2.
Oh, that was like 2017. Yeah.
Well, that's a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
That one I thought actually looked really good. I never tried it out though. I never picked it up. Maybe I'll put that on my Steam and see what I get.
Yeah, that one that one was rated pretty high.
Call of Duty 4 was fantastic. That's about when I started playing, is that era. Call of Duty 4 was fantastic. Call of Duty World at War was fantastic. Black Ops, the multiplayer was fun for a casual romp. The campaign was dumb. And then it kind of just started going downhill from there, with exception of maybe like the Modern Warfare titles.
Yeah, like the Modern Warfare titles were good. Advanced Warfare was good.
Was that the one where they had like jetpacks and stuff that looked like Titanfall bastardized?
I'm trying to remember. I think so, yes. And that was the first Call of Duty that had drones, and like advanced technology and such.
I think my brother really liked that one. That one, if I recall, was pretty divisive because it went against the grain of modern tech or older that Call of Duty usually sticks to, and it leaned more into what people considered a Halo.
Yes. Yeah. It would lean in more into like SEAL team kind of stuff, right? More advanced war tactics, and became, I guess I wouldn't say it became more tactical, but it had a more tactical feel to it versus an arcadey feel. And so Advanced Warfare got a little divisive with that. Same with Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare was very arcadey, but also lend itself to a lot of destruction and destructive worlds, which was, again, the amount of destruction in Infinite Warfare was turned up a lot.
Was that the one that they took the Nazi zombies thing to its logical extreme, and it had like demon dogs and like giant rats?
In the multiplayer, I think so, yeah.
Because that was always something that I thought was really funny, that because World at War introduced the Nocturne Toten, the Nazi zombies hidden game mode after you beat the campaign, and that was always like a really super, like the original Nazi zombies was like a really super fun Easter egg that you got to unlock, and it was just like one self-contained room. It was just a horde shooter that you were guaranteed to lose. It was just fun, and then that kind of like branched out into a whole other thing, like that became part of the Call of Duty series. You had the campaign, the multiplayer, and the zombie mode.
Yeah.
And it was just hilarious to me how important that became to the series. And it got bonkers in some of the later games.
Yeah, I mean, like Call of Duty has just always been one of those, like, they'll swing in different directions and they'll try to do things, but ultimately they always swing back into their lane, because Call of Duty is their audience, their player base. They're a fickle beast. They want what they want, and they know what they want. And if you deviate from that, they will chastise you big time. So they've been trying to play with the formula a lot. And sometimes it's missed and sometimes it's good, but a couple of those that you discussed, right? Like World War II, as we know, like, the original Modern Warfares, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops, like those are their like formula games that people just continue to love. And that's why I think for best action game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, unfortunately, is just going to take the cake amongst these other like lowball hitters. Like
it's going to, it's a monolith. It's going to
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Sifu, Neon White, Bayonetta 3. Like how are any of these going to compete against Call of Duty?
Bayonetta is pretty big.
It is, but is it big enough to compete with Call of Duty?
I don't think it is.
Right.
I'm rooting for Neon White though. I think that is such a cool idea for a game.
I agree. So,
but it's going to be Call of Duty though. Final answer.
All right. What do we got next?
What else you got here? Best mobile game?
Yeah, let's skip it.
Yeah, listen, I know I don't play much for sports games or racing games, but I still had something to say about those. For mobile games, as far as I'm concerned, mobile games have not progressed past Candy Crush and Angry Birds. That's my understanding of mobile games.
You have to try Genshin Impact. You have to.
Why? They peaked at Angry Birds.
What?
Angry Birds is just the best mobile game, and nothing has ever come out that's better than Angry Birds.
Genshin Impact.
Doubtful.
Genshin Impact.
Well, I'll load it into my slingshot and we'll see how it goes.
Genshin Impact. We can move on, but I'm calling Genshin Impact the winner, hands down, for this game.
You know what games I play on my phone? Old Pokemon ROMs.
Yeah.
Like, listen, if I'm going to play a mobile game, it's either Angry Birds or Pokemon Yellow. Like,
all right. Next.
Best Indie for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. I think this is a difficult one to judge. So you wanna read us our contenders?
Sure. So we have Cult of the Lamb, which I didn't know about this game until we were planning to do this episode. It's a very interesting one.
It looks fun.
Neon White, I agree. I think that's a game that is a contender in many ways. Sifu, which has been in multiple categories that we've discussed thus far, and same thing with Stray and Tunic.
I need to check out Sifu. I need to figure out why it's contending for so many things.
Because
What
it's that
platform
good.
is Sifu on? Sifu is on.
Steam.
Is it? I can't find it. It's not coming up in my search.
Hold on. Am I wrong on that one? Let me check. I had it up earlier.
Nintendo Switch.
Oh, it's on the Switch. Okay.
It's a Switch game. I'm sending you the trailer. Most acclaimed action game of the year, 9 out of 10.
What I think is interesting is this game is also part of the best fighting game. Right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the trailer now, and given how many categories it was nominated in, like, I'm not at all impressed.
I mean, again, it's on PS5 as well. It's on a couple of platforms. It's on Nintendo Switch, PS5, PS4, and Windows. And look, I think the game has substance. I think the game looks cool. I think it's a very different approach to a fighting action genre, right? I also think it's less in a specific lane like action or drama, but I think the fact that it is an independent game, I do think it fits in indie.
It seems to be the biggest thing that Sifu does to stand out is it involves environmental objects in its combat system.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can randomly pick up items, use them as weapons, you can throw them, you can kick them, you can toss people off of ledges, like toss people into each other. Like it's a very comprehensive environmental combat system, which
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy. Again, from that software developer eye, I'm starting to get it. I get it why it's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Still not my cup of tea. I'm just kind of genuinely uninterested in it.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, I think, again, I think there are certainly levels of that, right?
Yeah.
But again, is it groundbreaking enough to win best independent award? And I think for this category, I still think it's Stray.
Yeah, I don't think Sifu's doing anything more interesting than Stray, and I don't think it's doing anything as well executed as Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, or Tunic.
Right. I agree. It's still good in its right, and I appreciate the art for what it is, and I will still play the game. However, I think for best indie, my vote is going to be Stray. I think Stray is going to be the one that takes this one.
Now, Cult of the Lamb, I haven't played yet, but it's got a real like Binding of Isaac type vibe going for it, and I think that's with knowing very little about it, I think that's what it's trying to be the spiritual successor of, and I think it's got some real chops. Tunic and Neon White, I think, are still my personal favorites in this list, but I'm really interested to try out Call to the Lamb as well. And I think it could easily stand up against Stray as a possible best indie here. This is a hard one. Indie is such a hard one to judge to begin with, but these are all good indie games.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's fair. So I have to ask, because we need to come to resolve on this one. What's your take on this one? What's your choice?
It's gonna be Stray. I think Stray is the most popular of these five. I don't think it's the best game in this list. I think it's the most popular in this list.
That's fair. And it's an interesting thought. But let's bank that one for another conversation. The difference between the popular game and the better game is there a difference?
That's why we've picked Call of Duty twice.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting topic to explore. All right, moving on.
Pin that out another episode.
Exactly. Best ongoing game.
Oh boy.
This one, in my opinion, is there again. This is another hands down winner. And it's probably not going to be the one you think.
Really?
Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and a mobile game, Genshin Impact. A mobile game hitting a major category is huge.
Yeah. This is a mobile game outside of the mobile game category. That is actually a really big deal.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due there.
What do you think my pick here is?
I would assume that you would hands down pick Final Fantasy 14.
You would be correct.
Because that's the big MMO, right? The contender to World of Warcraft.
It's the one that has received all of World of Warcraft escapees.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 has been the MMO RPG reinvigoration of the Final Fantasy series. It is, and if Joe was here, he would tell me, no, you are wrong. But Final Fantasy 14 is by far the most popular and the most widely played MMO out of all of these.
Yeah. In this list for sure. Other than maybe Fortnite. Fortnite's got some numbers to it.
It does, and it has its fans. But I think when you talk about dedicated user base, Final Fantasy 14 hands down takes it. Like
I think Final Fantasy 14 is a better game than Fortnite.
I mean, and here's the thing: you can easily replace Final Fantasy 14 with, say, World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft would beat out any of these folks too, in my opinion. Even in the current state.
Even at Skirts, I was like, WoW hasn't been good in quite a while.
I understand, but there's still it's either that or Guild Wars 2, right? You can interchange Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft, or Guild Wars 2, and it will blow away any of these games. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Like Fortnite, Apex Legends has its community and has its FPS community, right?
Yeah.
However, the community just doesn't outweigh the popularity of a particular style game, and Final Fantasy 14 is just that.
Yeah. I'm a little interested in seeing Genshin Impact. I might watch some videos of it. I'm not gonna play it. Again, nothing beats Angry Birds. But
it's on the Odin, so you can play it on the Odin.
Okay. If could you get Angry Birds on the Odin?
Stop. I didn't put Angry Birds on the Odin because I'm not going to play Angry Birds on the
But yeah, no, a mobile game outside the mobile game category is actually a big deal. So I'm interested to see what becomes of that. Um, Fortnite is just a blizzard of dopamine-laced advertisements, nauseating blizzard of dopamine-based advertisements. That is my boiling down of what Fortnite is. Final Fantasy 14 is a good MMO by Square Enix. Destiny 2 is a mess. Apex Legends it's just a battle royale. That's all I have to say about that. It's fun. I've played it with my brothers on every now and again. It's free to play. And it's shoot the gun and then die and then wait half an hour to get into another match because it's a battle royale.
Yeah, pretty much the speed of it. All right.
Yeah, Final
So what-
Fantasy 14, kind of the only good game on this list other than whatever Genshin Impact is.
I mean, I'm actually kind of pulling for Genshin Impact to edge Final Fantasy, but I just don't think it will.
I don't know that I don't know how it would. Maybe, I mean, I've as demonstrated, I'm out of touch with what mobile gaming looks like, but I don't know how it could even compete with something as polished as Final
Oh.
Fantasy 14.
Genshin Impact, because you just haven't played it. You haven't experienced. You have to experience it, and I think you would understand it. All right. This is the category you were waiting for.
Game
That's-
of the year, and
Nope.
it's not even close. Oh, wait, we got another one?
Best narrative. You were talking about this one earlier.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you what you thought on this one. Because my personal opinion is that Elden Ring doesn't belong as the winner for this one.
I would agree, and I think Elden Ring actually. It's okay. So the nominees for best narrative are A Plague Tale: Requiem. Again, I voiced my opinion about that game.
Mm-hmm.
Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality. I would agree. Elden Ring, the narrative is not there.
No.
But I think that's also by design, right? Like the game is what it is. It's not a game of narrative. It's not a storytelling game.
It's not. I mean, it is and it isn't. So
It doesn't feel that way. Like it doesn't present itself in a way that says, "Oh, I'm here for the story."
at the very least, it doesn't do anything new. So I booted up Elden Ring for the first time for my wife on the big screen TV upstairs. And the opening cinematic gets like 3 seconds in, and Megan goes, "Oh, this is just Dark Souls." Like, yeah, it is. They finished the Dark Souls series and then said, "Where do we go from here? We have an idea for a new game, but not sure what to do with the story." And they called up George R.R. Martin on his cell phone and said, "Hey, we're the Dark Souls guys. What can you do with this?" And he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna take your Dark Souls story. I'm gonna add a girl who sleeps with dead bodies because I'm George R.R. Martin. I'm gonna add a cult of women who worship a god called the Two Fingers because I'm George R.R. Martin. And splat boom bang, you got yourself Elden Ring." And the game is the best fucking game I've played in a long time, but my god, it's just a weird story that's just Dark Souls but sexual.
Okay, so we agree. Not really a good narrative for the game.
There's
God
a
of
lot
War-
there. There's like, it's one of the story isn't good, but there's a lot of it, and so
But
it's interesting by volume. Is
But
kind of
it's-
just my opinion of it.
But it's like Souls-like narrative, so it's very fragmented, right?
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I really enjoy this Dark Souls narrative.
I guess so.
I really enjoy the Dark Souls narrative, but this is just more Dark Souls, but with George R.R. Martin's penis on it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I think okay, so here's the next one. There's God of War Ragnarok, right? Which whatever. It's God of War. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times. Horizon Forbidden West, which again, I'm going to praise it for its story. I think it's very well written. It's very well put together. And then Immortality, I don't know the game very well, but at the same time,
weird.
Yeah, I hear it's very different.
It seems to be like a visual novel kind of thing, and it's like hyper realistic, bordering on surrealistic, kind of Twin Peaksy in a way.
Twin Peaksy, okay.
Yeah, like that whole like it feels Lynchian. That's the only way I have to describe it.
I mean, Immortality, and we haven't talked about all of the categories here, but Immortality has been a part of multiple categories within the Game Awards, right? It's up for best game direction as well. So it has some legs, but I guess it is a narrative driven game, so maybe it has an opportunity here. But honestly, I think the clear cut winner in this one is still going to be God of War Ragnarok.
I fell off on what the story was for God of War, so I don't really know what's going on in this game. Because he's in Olympus, right? Like there was the whole thing where he killed his way into a seat in Olympus, and then there was one of the other spin-off games where he like had to go through the trauma of sacrificing his family for power again or something like that donkeys seem to not like very much.
Yeah, but now he's got a kid.
But now he's got a kid.
And
he's fighting Norse gods?
Yeah. So now he's also teaching his kid how to be who he is, right? It's like it's a narrative of like almost like getting ready to be like passing of the guard, you know?
And I'm sure having some sort of apprehension about it because he actually like his character is or at least as I understand where it was trying to go at one point before different studios got a hold of it, is he didn't like who he was. Like
Agreed.
He killed and killed and killed and came to realize, oh, I'm a bad person.
And that's what like the God of War 2016 or whatever, or 2018, I can't remember when it came out. It was 2016, I think. When that came out, it really was that. It was like almost a new like coming of age story of his rebirth in a way in that perspective, as well as becoming a father of a child that he needed to nurture down a path, which then changes the narrative of his POV, right?
How do I have to raise this kid the best I can, but how do I do that without him becoming the same monster that I have been?
Right.
That's an interesting story.
Right. And that's why I think like God of War Ragnarok, which is supposed to carry on that story, that next phase of the kid of his child becoming older. Like in the first one, I believe he was around 8 or 9-ish. And in Ragnarok, we fast forward about 3-4 years where he's about 12 or 13. So now he's starting to come to age a bit and becoming more, that rebel, that Spartacus kind of, feel, you know what I mean? So I think even though we haven't played the game because it hasn't, I don't think it's come out yet, or it's about to come out, or it has just come out. I haven't played it either way, but ultimately speaking, everything that we see on it is this game is going to, and what we're hearing from the critics and the reviewers, this edges out the prior game. And if it edges out the prior game, it's definitely going to be a better narrative.
I think so. I think God of War Ragnarok's going to get this one. I think it deserves it just on how much it's inspired us to have a conversation about it, and we don't even know what the game is yet. You know, like
You're right.
it says something.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, as much as I absolutely love that game, does not hold water from a narrative perspective in the same way.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. We're at the end. It's the final countdown. Okay.
Okay. Cue Rocky 4 80s robot.
It's been a long road. All right. Game of the year. The one that is the most prestigious, which I don't know if it really is, but it's considered the most prestigious Game of the Year award. This is a very interesting bundle of games. And so we'll get right into it. So A Plague Tale Requiem, which I still don't understand why it's here. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Here's where I think it's hands down Elden Ring. I think holistically, Elden Ring is the best thing that came out probably in the last 5 years, if not the last 10.
Why?
It's just, my God, it's just fun. Like it's the say it's a huge epic adventure that it takes the Dark Souls formula and expands on it in a direction that it hasn't really gone before, and it's really satisfying. The art design is fantastic, the sound design is fantastic, the way they balanced all the weapons and the spells and the summons is just feels really choice for a Dark Souls like game. Um, the multiplayer aspect of it is really fun. It it's just great. I love Dark Souls and I love Elden Ring. I was a huge fan. You know, my friend and I keep saying that Dark Souls is basically just the spiritual successor to Skyrim. It's doing everything that Skyrim was trying to do in 2011, but like it's actually good. Skyrim was not a good game, but it was ambitious and it was definitely deserved game of the year. And I've played countless hours of Skyrim. Elden Ring is just everything Skyrim was turned up to 11, and it delivers on every aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent as much time on Elden Ring that I have of Skyrim, in the 30 systems that it's on. But I agree. Like Elden Ring, thus far that I have played, has to be my favorite PlayStation 5 game that I've played thus far, because it really lends itself to be sandbox without being in a sandbox. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is it takes the From Software like formula of Dark Souls that honestly I couldn't get on board with Dark Souls. Like it was a game that I felt was too I don't know, linear, too.
Dark Souls is much more linear than Elden Ring is for sure,
And
especially the first one.
I'm not a big fan of the Final Fantasy games that are that super linear. And so that's why I think Dark Souls didn't appeal to me. However, I enjoyed the mechanics and the atmosphere and the style of Dark Souls. I just didn't enjoy the way that you go about playing the game. But Elden Ring, really, like you said, it kind of just turns it up.
Yeah.
You know, it cranks it up to 11, as well as it really allows you to play in a space that you want to play in, as opposed to saying, no, you have to go here. No. You want to go there? No, you have to go there. And Elden Ring has some of that, but it allows a player to go and do some things that they want to do. And I think that's what I appreciate more about Elden Ring than I do Dark Souls.
Dark Souls is far more restrictive because it's trying to be a little bit more of a puzzle game,
Mhm.
in the sense that it's very the core of Dark Souls and all From Software games are the mechanics, right?
Mhm.
But with Dark Souls, that specific breed of From Software game, what it's trying to be is it's go kill this boss and delve in this dungeon to find this item to open this door so that you can unlock this area. And you
Mhm.
do that enough times, and if you've eventually unlocked all the areas,
Mhm.
and the map slowly unfolds, and you kind of see how they interconnect. With Elden Ring, it's much more focused on exploration. There's a million optional dungeons. There's really only like a handful of bosses that are narratively important that you have to kill to reach the end of the game. But there's a bajillion alternate dungeons where you can find new weapons or new spells or different ways to approach the bosses. So no two playthroughs are the same because you can get a completely different kit. You can find completely different weapons you never even knew existed 6 times into the game.
Yeah.
And there's still locked off sections of the game that you're like, oh, I have to, find this item to open this door to get this chalice to give to this guy so that I can get this specific thing. The in-depth hidden quest lines in Elden Ring are ridiculous. Like stuff that would be impossible to complete if you didn't have a wiki. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like which is kind of annoying but also kind of fun to delve into. But it's all optional. You can engage with it to that level, but you don't have to. You can just jam through the bosses that are all really fun to fight in and of themselves. It's very, very player exploratory focused.
Yeah, and that's why I really enjoy like the Horizon series, like
Mhm.
Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, because you can you can be any level. You can start at you can start as like your starter like character with your starter abilities. If you want to go into the deep end and go and fight, gigantic snap maws and such, like these freaking really high rated machines, go for it. You may not win, you may die a bazillion times, but you can do what you want to do in a point in time. And that's what I think what Horizon really excels at. And it's it's a sandbox without it being a sandbox, because you can go do what you want, but if you don't have the skill level, good luck.
Yeah. I really appreciate a game that's willing to tell its player no uh organically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which From Software has pretty much mastered the art of. And Elden Ring just continues that.
And I think Guerrilla Games has been able to do that as well with Horizon. But it's interesting because there's three games on this list that I think are overwhelmingly worthy of being on here. And that's Elden Ring, God of War, and Horizon Forbidden West. Right? Stray, I think, again, we've talked about it plenty of times. It's a great game. Although I just don't think it holds water with those three. Same thing with Xenoblade Chronicles, and same thing with Plague's Tale. I think the clear top three in this category has to be Elden Ring, God of War, and Horizon.
Yeah,
So, do you agree?
I agree. I think those three are far and away the three to choose from.
What's your choice, and why are the others not your choice?
I think so. Elden Ring is my choice. Um, and it's not that those other two games lacked something necessarily that Elden Ring had. I think so One of the other things that Elden Ring did really well. I think this is why I'm considering it a step above the others. Dark Souls, as fantastic a series as it is, and I love that series to death, is a niche series because of its restrictive nature, its difficulty, and its dark themes. It kind of attracts and keeps a certain diehard section of fans. Elden Ring managed to take that formula and give it mass appeal. There are thousands of people who picked up Elden Ring because it was the juggernaut that it was, and they had never touched a Souls game before. And this was their first Souls game, and they're in love with it. Now they've gone back and played the other Souls games because Elden Ring got them their foot in the door.
What about like, so why not Horizon or God of War?
I think Horizon and Forbidden West is just underbaked. And I think you could probably, this is similar to your opinion of it. And I know you said you've changed it since you played it on the newer console, but I just don't think it's as fully realized as either God of War or Elden Ring. It certainly doesn't capture me the same way it captures you, even though robot dinosaurs are awesome. Uh, and shooting them with a bow and arrow is even more awesome, but I don't really know what Forbidden West brings to the table that Zero Dawn didn't already do and better.
Yeah, and it's kind of a new revelation for me when, I mean, like I said, I just got the PS5 not too long ago. I think it's like 2 or 3 months ago. And it's a new, like on the PS4, I definitely felt like the game was shoddy at best in the execution of things. But I see what people were talking about who had played it on the PS5 and not the PS4. And the game just plays differently. And I haven't been able to pin why yet. But ultimately speaking, Horizon has a depth to it that I know Elden Ring has a certain level of depth to it as well. But I going back to driving narrative and driving gameplay through that narrative while giving you purpose and giving you giving you an opportunity to relate to the character. I don't know if Elden Ring does that for me.
No. Well, and it's not designed to.
When you talk about when I think of game of the year, when I think of checking the boxes, how many boxes does a game check? Right? How many boxes does a game really hit in all cylinders? And that's where I think, although Elden Ring hits in a lot of different areas within these different categories, I have started thinking, like, as I like thought about it more, is I honestly think Horizon Forbidden West could be the winner of this one. And this was a change to me, like as of like today. Like I've changed my mind because I started thinking about, like, what are the elements that I would consider of game of the year? And the elements is checking a ton of boxes. And I don't think Elden Ring ultimately checks all the boxes that I would consider to be amazing or consider being diverse in every aspect, right? Like, I still think Elden Ring is a niche kind of game for a specific type of a specific type of gamer or type of gamer, right? Whereas like I think Horizon appeals a much more broader audience, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I could be truly wrong.
It was watching all the new people who had never experienced a Souls game before try to play Elden Ring and then join all the grizzled Dark Souls subreddits to try to ask people questions was really funny. The watching that course of events and people be like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And the only responses they would get are like memes that are 30 years old about like some random quirk of the Dark Souls 2 engine. Like that watching that whole thing develop was fantastic. The really new people who, because it really it wasn't niche. Elden Ring was not niche. It touched a lot of people from a lot of different video game walks of life. And watching them interact with the weird ass Souls people was just the best. Why? This is a turtle. Why are you calling it a dog? Because dog is dog.
I mean, again, I could be entirely wrong here, and this is my way of throwing Horizon a bone because Horizon lost to the Breath of the Wild in 2017. But I feel like Horizon could potentially be the more complete game. Now, here's another scenario, and I think this is entirely possible. God of War could essentially run away with it.
It could. I have no idea what God of War is going to be like. I think it's a strong IP with some strong ideas. And the reboot has been a massive success. So, and as we've discussed, God of War has something special with its narrative that I think Elden Ring lacks.
Yeah.
And that might be enough to push it over the edge. But who's to say? My personal vote is Elden Ring, knowing absolutely nothing about Ragnarok.
Fair enough. And same here. Like, again, going with what I know, I've played both Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West. And from my perspective, my vote is Horizon Forbidden West. Thanks for listening to our most recent episode of Uneducated Gamers. You can go to Galaxy Game TV to post comments on each of our episodes, or if you have a question or a topic you would like us to include in an episode, feel free to leave a comment. Until next week, we bid you farewell.